everything out there. Oh, let me just get rid of that off my screen.
Okay,
Got it.
so we are recording now. This is going live as I speak to the amazing Linzi Churchill. We're recording this for the World Mental Health Forum Summit, but also for everyone within Collaboration Global as we are partnering with the World Mental Health Forum to create this summit for this week. The reason I'm asking this lady is I've been stalking her for probably the last, I don't know, 3 months, 6 months over the summer. Kind of jealous that I'm not on the journey with her, and also sometimes very glad I'm not. Um, so Linzi has set herself a challenge like no other. Linzi, tell us, what crazy thing are you doing at the moment?
Let me tell you, hello, Jill. Thank you very much for having me on here, darling.
Welcome.
Um, I decided that as of the 1st of March, I would start through hiking, which means to continuously hike around Great Britain, the perimeter of our coastline,
Wow.
which totals an estimated 7,000 miles. And I will finish on the 23rd of December this year, which will
Beautiful.
be a total of 298 days hiking with nature non-stop and an amazing amount of beautiful souls that I meet every single day.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
that's what I'm doing, Jill.
now you know why I say she's a crazy lady, but the stats blow my mind. How many marathons have you done so far?
Now done, I think it's 169. Yeah, 169. And I'm currently at the equivalent of doing 12 Everests, summiting them and coming back down them again.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
I'm told that's the
it's a,
hard bit coming down, so at least you're not having to do all of that coming down a bit. But you've
I
had some
think
hills to climb.
a lot of hills. In fact, that is probably one of the most challenging and the elements. When I was doing the South West Coast Path, on one particular day, I reached 7,000 elevation throughout that entire day, which
Wow.
is the most I've done in, yeah, in in one hit. The
So,
most miles that I've done so far with nature in one day is 45
good
miles.
grief.
But to help raise funds and awareness for mind, which I'm doing it for, mental health, which help support people with their mental health. For me, I believe every single one of us at some point in our lives will need support
Hmm.
with this, whatever that might be. A minder there 24/7 for you to talk to, email, however that best suits you to get that support. I'm also doing it for national trails. Now, these guys are quiet warriors in my eyes. They look after 6,000 miles for us to
Mm,
trailblaze along.
mm.
They spend a lot of time sometimes fighting legal battles on our behalf that we have no idea are taking place, just to protect and preserve our natural trails throughout the UK. Um, yes,
Well,
so
two
uh,
amazing causes, and
thank you.
I mean, both very close to my heart for very different reasons. But where did the idea, who planted the seed? Funny talking about nature. Who
Yeah.
planted the seed for you? What was happened? What was the catalyst that got you doing this amazing thing?
There's a couple of things in my own life. One, I was brought up very much within nature anyway. So it's been a place where I've been able to discover myself, my skill sets, and feel happy and be the best version I can be. But during COVID, I lost some family members, and that was a catalyst for me to start walking more with nature.
Mm.
And that healing process in itself was bloody incredible. And I also thought, right, this bucket list that I have, I'm now turning this into my live it now list. So for the past 5 years, any challenge that came up in my mind that was to do with nature, I've gone out and conquered it basically. But this one, I did the Camino. That was that was
Whoa.
527 miles.
Yeah, that's a piece of
I did
cake
that over
compared to this.
27 days, and it was the most incredible experience.
Yeah,
I Everyone you meet from all over the world, they're all on it for different reasons, but you've got this shared purpose
yeah.
and meaning for why you're doing it. Um, and I got to the end of those 27 days and said to myself, God, I feel so happy, so content, yet
Mm,
life is so simple. So, how do I continue living like this and helping other people find this sense of happiness and contentment and purpose?
mm.
Which then led to me coming up with the Linzi Walks Challenge of 7,000 miles.
Just a little thing, just like
Just a little,
let's
just
do
on a little
500
walk.
and then just, treble it and double it and add another number on the end. Incredible. But also you've managed to get the Guinness World Records to kind of follow what you're doing, haven't you?
Well, I applied back in 2023. So I applied to them saying, well, I'd like to be the first woman to walk Great Britain recorded
Yes.
um, with an app, not taking any ferries, and I can only cross an estuary if there is a public footpath.
Right.
Initially, they rejected this.
Ah,
I naturally went back and I said, could I ask why you've rejected it and
yeah.
how can I now, you know, how can we pursue this so that it
Yeah.
becomes a Guinness World Record? So they said, look, we would need a map because at the moment no one's ever done it before. So we need to make this measurable.
Yeah.
So that's fine. I had my map anyway. I'd mapped it all out. They wanted daily routes. So I sent them the GPX files for these.
Gosh.
Um, and then this challenge began. Within 6 to 8 weeks, they then said, because I'm dropping it into a Dropbox for them to review,
Right.
they said, your route is slightly changing, Linz. From one that what you've given us, and I said it will because this cliff face has fallen off, hence the picture that the government says I cannot go this way, I
Yeah.
must go this way.
Yeah.
Um, so they then suggested that come the end of this hike, this will become whatever I walk,
Yeah.
that will now become the official mapped route, which
Mm,
then they verify, which
brilliant.
then becomes the route for someone else to beat. And do you know what? I really hope that they come out in their hundreds to
Oh,
do
gosh.
that because
Yeah.
for me, this is about inspiring people to get outdoors. So if
Mm,
this helps someone think, "Do you know what, I'm going to go and see if I can beat that," or someone looks at the section and says, "Oh wow, she did that day. I'm going to go and do that day." Then for
yeah.
me, that's a win-win. I
Yeah.
do have, obviously, as you know, I have my live beacon. So I always do this. It's almost like I have a flashy thing. Um, so I have a live beacon. So if you go onto my website, Linzi Walks, Linzi walks.com, on the main page,
Perfect.
there is a map.
Yeah.
And as I walk, that beacon switches on and you can follow me, which
Crazy.
which now I've probably had nearly over 300 people now join me. So people
Oh,
walk up using
yeah.
the map on my website and say, Linzi, I'm not stalking you,
Uh,
but can I come and walk with you? I go,
awesome.
yes, you can. That is exactly why that is there. So it's working. Yeah, please
Beautiful.
come and stalk and walk with me. Probably shouldn't say that, but never mind.
Be on the safe side. Just come and have a little stroll along the
Yeah.
coast path. And some of the images that you've sent over and some of the videos that you've sent, are you going to do a book? What's going to happen after this? Are you going to collate all this wonderful information? I think you should have a coffee table book so we can turn over and go, oh, I'm going to go there one day.
I was asked before I started this, are you going to write a book? And my answer was a flat out no.
Okay.
And then doing this journey, living it, breathing it, and the newness of every single day is so different and gifts me with so many different
Mm.
things, that processing that, it almost doesn't occur. at this moment in time. Because everything is happening in the now.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I
Come back to
100
you. I'll come back to you when you
you'll
finish.
come back to me.
Yeah, I'll
Come
give you
back
a
to
week
me.
off and then we'll find out how we're going to do the book. All right, that will be cool because I want to read this book. I'm sorry, but you're going to have to pull your finger out and get that done too. I mean, just walking around the coast, that's a holiday. My mind is blown by what you're doing, but also what fills my heart with joy is why you're doing it and this letting people know about the trails and so we keep them open and we keep
Yeah.
them sacrosanct because they are so, so special. But also for Mind as a charity, it needs all the help it can get because more and more people every single year we know have been suffering from mental ill health, and it should be the same access to support as if you break your arm. We know what happens when
It
you break
should.
your arm. You go in, you get x-rayed, you get a plaster, you come away. It's so many weeks till you're feeling better, and then you get on. Then you've got physio, and you've got all these things in place. Where if you're suffering a panic attack and anxiety, where do you go? What do you do? And GP equates in my head to tablets and prescription. But
Mm.
what you're offering is joy. Now, you're not necessarily going to
It's
go from deep depression bang to joy,
no, no,
but
no.
you've got a pathway to get there.
I
So
I have loved ones that have suffered from addiction and depression in their life,
yeah,
and it's one of my biggest motivations that taking them out within nature,
yeah,
whether that's we're sitting strumming on a guitar, singing a song, painting a picture, it doesn't have to be walking or dancing.
yeah,
Um, the how that transforms them, their mindset and their feelings at that moment in time, that might be temporary, but it does have a long lasting effect on
yeah.
their mindset and their thinking process when that's done regularly in their lives. So yeah.
Absolutely. And then when that moment has passed, you can still plug into that. A few days later, you can remember it. If ever I'm down, I go to the coast and to see that sea kind of breathe in and breathe out, it fills me with, okay,
Oh,
I can do this. It might be a problem back over there, but now I've got this energy. I can go home and deal with it. And then 2 days, 3 days later, I'm like, oh, it's raining, it's miserable, and oh, that sea, I can still smell it. I can still feel that energy, and you just pulls you that little bit up. So, thank you for what you're doing.
no,
From
thank
the
you.
thousands of people that are following you, thank you so much for the mission that you have, for the purpose that you have, for the people that you want to support along the way. I just want to say a little thank you from me that comes from everybody else that's going to be listening to this little wherever we put this, whether it ends up as a podcast or further afield, who knows? But I just want to say
Thank
thank
you.
you for all that you do. I think you're an incredible lady. Um, and good luck with the
Likewise.
rest of it because we're coming into winter now. So,
Oh yes, three
yeah.
months along the East Coast, people.
Oh, it's going to be a bit nippy, but you'll be fine. You'll be fine. I'll send the sunshine. All right. If you see the sun shining, Jill sent it.
It's,
That's what I do.
it's here. It's coming. So
I had it earlier.
come
It
into
just
my
moved
lovely
around.
gifted caravan.
Oh yes, how lovely. You've had so many people buy you coffee, buy you lunch, give you a room for the night. That fills my heart with joy as well. There are
It's
good people out there.
yeah, a lot of kindness in this world. Yeah, there
Bless
is.
you. And on that note, I'm going to say thank you so much. We will share this out with anyone that wants to watch it, anywhere we can put it. And hopefully we'll do a longer version of a proper podcast and dig a little bit more into who Linzi is as well. Because you're
Thank you.
crazy and wonderful, and I love you to pieces. Thank you for being there.
Thank you. Thank you so, so much.